Hello everyone, welcome back to Astroneer. Today we're going to be playing some more Astroneer. I played this about maybe a week ago whenever I recorded all this footage, so I'm not going to be remembering everything that happened. Now today we're going to be working with the trade platform, which is a major part of the game, so we're going to be unlocking a lot of stuff in this episode. First off, I am getting some research chips, or just chips. I forgot exactly what they're called. So I have to go blow this up. Then I start heading back with the chip, so that way I can make the trade platform, because the trade platform requires one chip. Now I'm just trying to sort my base back to the kind of sorted way that it was before I drove the tractor in straight through it. I start scrapping down the scrap, because scrap is one of the main things that you use with the trade platform. So right here I'm just checking to make sure I have everything else that I need other than the iron. And now I am placing down this. It's kind of like a research lab. I don't do much with it here. This is something that we're going to be working on in later episodes, but not this one, because this one's focused on the trade platform. So first thing I need to do is provide power to it. I just complete all the basic missions to it, and then I leave it alone. So I grab one of the small batteries, I start heading over to give it power, but first I collect this mission reward. And now I'm powering it, and then the next step after this one is to give it oxygen. Now I had forgotten that on one of the scraps that comes with this thing, it gives you an oxygenator. I just end up crafting one, so now I have a spare for whenever I need it. And now here I'm making clay so I can smelt that down, so that way I can make the oxygenator. And now I start grabbing the clay so I can smelt it down into ceramic. And now I go over to make the oxygenator. And now I go over to put the oxygenator in the lab. And then soon after this, I end up finding the oxygenator that came with it. And now here I'm just looking through all the missions, trying to see what I might be able to do to get a decent reward. And now here I'm getting a boost mod, which allows you to dig through materials faster. Boost mod 2 allows you to dig through any resource. Boost mod 3 makes it faster, and boost mod 1 can only go through certain materials. So I get the boost mod 2 because I won't have the materials to make boost mod 3, and I don't really need it because right now I'm not really trying to go fast. I might make one that's faster later on, but for now, boost mod 2 will work fine. And there I was just letting some batteries charge. And now I'm getting off the dead thruster, and I'm about to put on a new one. So I grabbed some ammonium so I can actually make the thruster. But yeah, I need iron for the trade platform, so I'm going to Glacio so I can get some. And now here's where I remember that an oxygenator comes with the lab. After I look around for it for a minute, I find 2 pieces of copper and the oxygenator. So I unload the copper, and then I head off to Glacio. So then I land at Glacio. I hook up the oxygenator to the spaceship, so that way the tethers will work. And now here I'm just going to get some hematite, which is what I originally came here for. Sorry if it's a little bit loud. Now that I've got all the hematite I need, I leave that by the spaceship so I can go down, get some titanite for some titanium. I decided to get a backpack full, just so I don't have to go back and get some more later. And now I'm heading back. And now that I've landed, I go down so I can smelt the hematite into iron, as well as the titanite. This ends up taking a good while because it's a lot of resources that needs to be smelted. And now here I'm looking for a better form of storage. Unfortunately, I did not have enough bytes in order to unlock it yet. And now I start printing the trade platform. While also waiting for all the resources to smelt. And now I get ready to actually use it. I'm pretty sure I use it in just a second. So the little blue outlines, that is scrap, which is you put the scrap on the trade platform, and then you open the menu, and then you can trade for stuff, as I will show you in a second. After standing here for about 30 seconds for no apparent reason. So here the furnace is full, so I get some of the smelted resources off. But first, I start picking up all the iron. The titanium can have its own storage canister in a different episode, but not now. Because right now we don't have too much. It's not even enough to fill up a medium storage, so it can just stay on there for now. But whenever I start trying to complete and have at least one of every resource in the storage system, then it will need to have its own storage container. But for now it's fine if we just leave it on a storage platform. And this trade center is actually where I base how I sort my storage system by. I have the most expensive natural materials on the left all the way at the back, and the least expensive all the way at the front on the right. Now there are a little bit too many natural materials, so resin and compound do spill over to the smelted side, but it ends up working out in the end. And now here I figure out that you can smelt these, which I previously did not know. So that is, in my opinion, one of the only uses for them. And now here I'm just getting some more scrap, because I think I'm trying to get lithium right here, which is the most expensive material that you can get at this trade platform. I think it's 4 pieces of scrap for 1 lithium. So yeah, it's pretty expensive. Because I think I'm trying to get all the hardest materials for the storage system out of the way first, and then I'll work on the easier ones. Now this is the menu where you can choose what you want to trade for. You can see the scrap on the left, the material you're going to get on the right. And you can see it has every single natural resource in the game. And whenever I say natural resource, I basically mean unsmelted. Even if it can't be smelted, I'm still going to call it natural. Just because that's the form that you get it from whenever you mine it straight from the pocket you find. I'm also here figuring out where the ammonium will go. And I decided to trade for clay so I can get some more of those large storage, so I can put more of the resource canisters on one spot. So as you can see, it takes a second, but it's much faster than going to a whole separate planet for some of the resources that don't spawn on the planet you might be at. Like lithium is not on this planet, but having that thing go get lithium is much faster than having to manually go and get it myself. Which is why I favor it for getting almost every material. Because it's also faster than having to go out and manually get it in some cases. Now here I'm just waiting for the large storages to print and all the clay to smelt. And now here I'm getting myself a work light, which makes a huge difference in terms of how much light you can have, especially in the caves. As you can see, it's basically the difference between dark mode and bright mode. So this is my favorite type of light because it's the brightest and it does it in a full 360 area. And now the reason that I moved the container off of the platform is because a lot of those are empty. So whenever I try to dispense something, the other canisters will pick it up and they will try to keep it. So it just makes it a whole hassle whenever you're trying to get one specific resource if all of those are empty. Whenever they're all full, it'll get a lot easier to get them and to get an individual resource, but as of right now I have to take it off the platform in order to get just one. Otherwise it'll just pass between multiple different canisters and it's really annoying to get. Now I decided to scrap one of these so I can get some more scrap. Because somewhere in this video I'm pretty sure I get lithium, which is used for RTGs, which is the best power source, as I think I've said in a previous video. But RTGs are basically the best way to solve a power issue instead of just delay solving it. Like the wind turbines are a temporary solution. RTGs are a permanent solution. Now here I'm just waiting for the shuttle to get back. Because I am going to be going back to Glacio, this time not for iron or titanium. This time I'm going for research. And you will see just how useful Glacio is whenever you're trying to get research in just a second. Glacio is probably one of the best planets to get research at. There's one other that is better, but that one is far more dangerous. So in terms of being safe and getting a lot of research, I would recommend Glacio. Atrox is the other one, but that is the most dangerous planet. Now I think the reason I'm trying to get this research, I didn't show it, is because I'm trying to get a large shredder, which is able to shred these little scrap pieces that come from the thrusters into scrap. So we can finally get rid of them. That's why I've been keeping them all, so that way I can turn them into scrap once I get the shredder that's big enough. Now I take this terrarium and I'm going to be messing with this later. This goes with that lab thing that's on the left of the screen right now. So I just set this over here. And then I continue working on getting to Glacio. I also want to unlock a packager, which I might have done off camera, I'm not sure. But packagers, you'll see me use one once we get to Glacio. It basically takes something big and turns it into something small. I am taking the ammonium for some containers, I guess you could call them. It's like the containers that you unlock with like a resource or power, and then they give you research. Because the ones on Glacio, or at least the ones that take a specific resource or power or something, some of them will give you a big research, other ones will give you a small research. It might be the planet, it might be in the environment, I'm not sure. I think it's the planet, but I haven't really tested it, so I can't give a definitive answer on this. So first off, I unlock this one. And now here I grab some graphite so I can make the packager. And you can see there I turn that medium size research into something that can just fit in my backpack. And once I get home, I will unpack that and throw it in the research chamber. Now I end up getting a couple packagers, because at the time I planned on getting a lot of research, so I would not have to come back here for a while. I only ended up getting like I think 2 of them. But this is another great place for research. On these little like stone pillars poking out of the ground, it's either stalactite or stalagmite, I can't remember. They give you like 300 to 400 research every time you research one, and they regenerate. So it's a pretty good way to also get research. So this is why I think Glacio is one of the best planets to get research. Because there's research on the surface, and there's also a lot of research in the caves. And now here I'm starting to work on this research chamber, whatever you want to call it. So I work on getting some more generators so that way I can supply it with more power. I am also going to be using my RTG just because it'll help me with that little bit extra power just in case all these generators are not enough, which I think those generators alone would have been enough, but I decided to throw it all on. So I turn on all the generators, this pops off, freaks out, and then I grab the research after taking the lid off. Well, I thought I took the lid off. Turns out I didn't. So now I am bringing this back, and then I package it. And now here I watch these generators do this for a while. And then I head home. And now you're about to see just how much research these things have. It is absurd. I don't know if you can see that, but that says about 8,000. 7 or 8,000. So these things have a lot of research, and they also go pretty fast. So in total, it's just a really good way to get bytes. And now here I'm looking for something, I can't quite remember what. I think it's more dynamite, so I can get some more chips. Because the other way you can get chips is with Astroneer, but I do not have any of that because that's in the center of the planet. Now unfortunately the Xbox did not record up to here, but I got a chip, I made it back, and then here is the large shredder. I'm making a platform for it. And then we will finally get rid of all of those broken thrusters. There is one shredder size that is larger than this, but I currently don't have the materials to make it. So first thing I do is I shred the smaller shredder, and then I get all the scraps over here ready to be shredded. So I did not record it, but I did actually scrap all those down. So anyways, thank you for watching, and goodbye.